My sister blackmailed me, destroyed my marriage, made me homeless, and now she wants forgiveness? I was 21 when my fiance asked me to marry him. He doesn't have any siblings, but I have 2 older sisters, which is very important as he was also close with them. We grew up together. When we started dating, I don't think our parents stopped celebrating for weeks. He helped me deal with a lot of my anxiety, and even when I gained a little weight and my mother berated me saying he was going to leave me, he told her off and said he loved me for who I was, not what I looked like.
Hey, lady, shut up!
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, I know. We were only engaged 6 months before the incident. My middle oldest sister, let's call her Nikki, was a very cold person. She never showed any affection, and she only ever opened up to my fiance as she said she saw him as a brother, and he also helped her through a lot of dark times, such as battling drug addictions and breaking the law.
What kind of laws? Brother-in-law?
She and I never saw eye to eye. I loved her dearly because she was my sister, but didn't like her as a person.
Damn, son.
She sucks. Out of the blue, she tells me she wants to take me clubbing, as we had never been together before, and she felt bad that she was so distant to me. I agreed, and that night we went out. Clubbing wasn't really my style, but once I had a few drinks, I loosened up and began having a little fun.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. The night was going smoothly until Nikki spotted a guy across the room who she claimed she wanted to climb like a tree. She walked over to him, and within a few minutes, she was back, and she had a sour expression on her face. I asked her what was up, but she never said a thing. I kept pressing because I didn't want her night to be ruined. She then told me the guy didn't want her number, but he wanted mine instead. So OP's looking like a bigger snack.
Okay.
I told her he was a loser, and there was plenty of guys who would kill to be with a girl like her. She didn't budge, though. Also, OP, you don't need to lie. It sounds like your sister's a drag.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, she's super cold and no fun, and was addicted to drugs. She told me she needed to use the restroom, and then we would leave. I waited for an hour, and during this time I was sipping a lot of different cocktails, and then I started to feel really dizzy and lightheaded. I figured I'd just catch a cab home, as I was certain Nikki had left. On the way out, though, I bumped into a friend of Nikki's whom she had briefly dated. He asked me if I needed a hand to my car, and I explained I was getting a cab, and he said he was getting ready to leave and we could share one. I told him okay, and we walked into the club together and into the first cab we saw. I tried to find my phone in my purse, but I felt myself getting dizzier.
Oh, that's
I don't
bad.
remember what happened next as I blacked out.
Oh my God. Sounds like something else really bad is at play here.
Yeah, I feel like something slipped into her drink. The next morning, I woke up on a hard sofa with my head pounding. When I came to, I realized I was in Nikki's friend's house, and my phone was sitting on the glass table in front of me, but it was flat. When he noticed I was awake, he offered some tablets and water and explained that I had passed out in the cab and didn't remember my parents' address, so he just picked me up and took me back to where he was and laid me on the sofa. Sounds like a nice guy.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I pray so.
I told him I needed to go home as my fiance would be worried, which I'm sure he would be.
Totally.
He called a cab and I left. When I arrived at my parents' house, my mother, father, Nikki, my fiance, and his parents were all standing in the living room. I thought they were worried about me, but the instant I opened my mouth, my fiance asked, "How could you do this to me?"
Come home?
I tried to explain that my phone went flat, but he then went screaming on how I could cheat on him.
Okay, this is weird. This is really weird.
I was baffled. Why would he think that? I tried to explain the night's events, but I kept getting cut off. I guess I could understand maybe why he would think that, because like
If she's gone all night,
gone
I mean,
all
that's
night
like the
at some guy's place.
right.
It doesn't look great. Doesn't look great.
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
Nikki then chimed in and said I was a lying shit, and how could I be so heartless to a man who has been there for me through thick and thin?
What?
She went on to say I kept flirting with the random guys all night, and then when she went to the bathroom, she saw me leave with her friend.
What?
I told her what happened, and she showed me photos on her phone where, as we were leaving, his hand was on my back, ushering me outside. Yes, the photo did look horrible, and I was so drunk I didn't even realize his hand was on my back at all.
The optics are terrible.
The optics are pretty bad. Going home with some guy drunk. Yeah, not great. My fiance was so angry. He kept shouting, and his mom and mine were both crying. I then asked Nikki to call her friend, and he would confirm nothing happened. But when he called him, he told a completely different story. He said I begged him to take me back to his, and when we did, we slept together multiple times.
Oh my God.
Which is a totally different story than what he said.
To
initially,
her.
To her.
To her face. Oh,
Also,
this is
makes
gross.
him look bad, though.
Super bad.
Because like
it's gross.
to hook up with like a drunk girl, like that's assault. I saw red and started crying and yelling at Nikki because I knew she had organized this whole thing to make me look bad.
Oh, jeez.
I wonder if she slipped something in her drink.
I mean, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah.
What a terrible sister.
I begged my fiance to believe me, but he just shook his head and left. When everyone had cleared out, my mother slapped me across the face and told me to get out. I understand the boyfriend being mad, but like, I feel like cheating's bad, of course, right?
Yeah.
But to
slap your child?
One, it seems like she was super drunk, which everyone knew.
Yeah.
And it seems like she got taken advantage of more than
right?
anything else.
Why
by
are they
this
not
dude.
thinking that happened and like consoling her?
But let's say even if she was sober, even if she fully consented to this experience, like I feel like cheating isn't like to disown to have your parents kind of slap you in the face in front of everyone for cheating seems like a mismatch,
an insane overreaction.
Yeah.
Like that is terrible parenting.
Yeah,
terrible parenting.
So yeah, I left and went to a friend's house where I stayed for a few nights. During those nights, I called my fiance, crying and pleading with him to believe me that nothing happened, but it all fell on deaf ears as he never returned any of my calls or texts. My mom texted me and told me she was kicking me out and that she couldn't believe I would do such a thing, and a lot of other hurtful slurs I don't think I could repeat here. She didn't even give me time to get my things, and she threw everything out.
I'm getting really angry at the mom, honestly.
What a parent.
That is unacceptable.
I was homeless and single in less than a day and a half. My entire world had been taken away because of Nikki's lies. Nikki sucks.
Bro.
Nikki's evil.
To me, it's like seeing her get disowned. She doesn't step up and say like, okay, whoa, this has gone too far.
Too far, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Now for weeks, I tried everything to get my fiance back and my family. The limit for me, though, was when Christmas time had come and I went over to my mother's house to try and reconcile. I was sleeping from couch to couch during this time. But when I got to my parents' house, I knocked on the door, but no one answered. My friends then called me and then told me they just saw on Facebook that my family was in another state celebrating Christmas and they had posted pictures online. Everyone was there. My sisters, parents, grandparents, and even fiance and his family. When I saw the photos, I couldn't stop crying as they all looked so happy. This sucks.
This sucks.
Nikki. I cried for days and days before deciding to block them all. I even returned my engagement ring. My friend knew someone a couple hours away who was looking for some help in his restaurant, and he even had living arrangements above where he worked, so I could get rent at a cheap price and work at the same time. So basically, like, I feel like right now she's like, I just need to rebuild my life.
Yeah, from square one.
From square one.
It's all gone.
I wanted to start over with my life as it hurt me that no one took my side and they all left me to fend for myself. I was able to move pretty quickly and was doing well. The apartment was tiny and I had to work 10 plus hours almost every day, but I was able to save a lot of money. I'm not living in the apartment anymore. I was able to rent a much nicer condo, but I'm still working at the restaurant as assistant manager.
Man, good on UOP for
just like recreating your life.
Rebuilding.
After. I mean, a lot of people would just like fold.
100%.
Now it's been roughly 2 years since I left and I've still not spoken to any of my family. I have no idea what's going on with them until I got a knock on my door. It was my ex-fiance.
Oh my God.
I was shocked to say the least. All these feelings came rushing back and all I wanted to do was jump into his arms. Oh, that's heartbreaking. But then I remembered the pain I felt and tried to slam the door in his face, but he stopped it and asked that I let him explain. He said that Nikki had gotten married and she had confessed that she lied about the situation because she had found someone she loved so much and realized what a horrible thing she had done. A little bit too late though, right?
Literally a little too late, girl. Sorry, but you already ruined her life.
Her whole life.
And basically at 2 years out, she's probably gone through like a grief process of like losing her family.
Yeah.
Right? And that's has to be a tough process. And now, no.
So what do you think about the fiance though? Like what would you do in this situation? Because like of the people, like I feel like the fiance had the most like reasonable response because it's like if someone cheats on you, kind of like, hey, I gotta want you in my life. You know, you leave the relationship.
You didn't slap her or like any of this.
He was just upset.
Ridiculous
he
stuff.
Thought, I mean, it seemed like she cheated on him.
Yeah. That's probably a fair reaction. I think probably it's like just gonna take some time I think you have to sit and process. Honestly, I don't know if has anyone been through anything similar like this, like in this realm. I mean, what do you do? I don't know.
I have no idea. What would you guys do? Let us know. But there's still more to the story. I asked him how he found me, and he said my friend told him. My entire family had been trying to get in touch with me and wanted to see me. I told him I needed time to see if I even wanted to have them in my life. He left, and I've been a mess since. I don't know what to do. I know I will never forgive Nikki, which you shouldn't. That girl.
Yep.
She could rot for all I cared, but it's hard for my other family and fiance because they didn't know she was lying. Even so, the parents' overreaction.
Yep.
Like, you don't disown your kid like that.
Yep.
But I also felt like they abandoned me too quickly without letting me explain my side. I don't know if I should forgive them. Any advice would be much helpful. Thank you for taking time to read. I think maybe you forgive the fiance. Maybe. I don't know. But maybe the parents, just because like you want your family back.
They have so much trust to build. I think with the fiance, the one really good thing about that is it's like now she can have support back in her, just emotional support back in her life after fighting
So
for 2
much,
years. You know,
yeah.
that would probably be pretty nice. But yeah, the family, I don't know.
What would you guys do? Put in the comments. Like, we're kind of at a loss here. Like, this is, I think if this was me, 2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
I probably would have moved on. I probably would have built a lot of hate, a lot of resentment.
A lot of resentment for sure.
Yeah, a lot of resentment, especially for maybe everyone. Because I'm like, hey, like, even my fiance, like, listen to me.
Yeah.
You know?
And didn't like, because the situation sounds fishy. Like, you don't, I feel like a reasonable person is like, wait, what's going on here? Is at least unsure. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would have just investigated more. Like, I understand the fiance being mad and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But like,
After a beat, like, okay, wait.
Yeah, let her hear her side out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the family and fucking Nikki, evil, like Satan. Satan.
Legit.
Terrible.
Legit.
Let us know what you think. That was painful. We'll see you soon.